Okay, in this video we're going to be checking out the new MJX Bugs B5W, or also known as the Bugs 5W. And this one is a GPS drone. It has some 1806 1500 kV motors, 5-inch props. It does have a camera on the bottom here. 1080p, does record to a micro SD card slot. And the camera is dampened with some little rubber dampeners there. I'm not sure if you can see that, right hanging down below. The camera does have a sort of panning mechanism, so it'll pan the camera up and down, and you can do that via the controller, but it does not pan left and right. So it is sort of a partial gimbal, but it's not really going to be doing any sort of like stabilizing in terms of like a full-size like a Mavic Pro or something like that. This is more of a sort of a between a toy grade and a hobby grade type of drone, but it's pretty inexpensive. You get quite a bit for what you get here. So as I mentioned, it has a GPS hold, altitude hold, and does have an app that sends video back. The camera does send back video to the app to your phone via Wi-Fi, but the control is via this transmitter, which is on 2.4 gigahertz. So you're going to have more range on the control, but your video range is probably going to be less because it's Wi-Fi FPV. We're going to see how far we can get before we lose video signal, but I'm pretty sure the control range will be further. And it does have return to home as well in case you go beyond the range of the 2.4 gigahertz controller and you need to come back. There's a return to home function on signal loss, low battery, and also if you just want to bring it back via the button. Okay, so the battery that's included is a 2-cell 1800 milliamp hour. It does have a little proprietary connector here to a charger that you can charge via USB. It does take quite a bit of time to charge this battery. It's a pretty big battery, so I'm not sure if you can connect this up to a hobby grade charger. The adapter here does have, I think it's a 2-cell balance lead, so this might be possible, but I didn't test that. If you want to charge it up faster, that could be a possible way to go. Now there's no on-off switch here on the drone, so in order to power it up you just basically just slide it in, and then there's a little dial here that you can turn that will lock the battery in place. On the remote itself here, as you can see, it's got centering throttle, so obviously it's got altitude hold. You have a dial here on the upper right shoulder for the camera gimbal. Over here you have your video and photo button, return to home button. This is the button, this little red button here, locks and unlocks to props, and then the button over here on the far left is your takeoff and landing button. You have two modes. You have GPS mode, which is B, which is on the right here, and then A, which is non-GPS mode, so it'll just have altitude hold only, and then you won't have position hold from GPS if you're in mode A. So on the screen here you have some basic information like GPS satellites, number of satellites you have, the distance you have in terms of your height and how far away the drone is, and then you have battery information here for the transmitter and also from the drone itself when the drone is actually connected. Okay, so you need to do a compass calibration first by rotating the drone 3 times horizontally. And then 3 times vertically with the camera facing up. And then you'll get some solid lights, and then it should be calibrated. Okay, so I have 12 satellites now, and go ahead and I'll start really recording. I've tried moving the gimbal all the way up, but it's still pointing down. Okay, I'm recording video now, and we'll go ahead and we'll take off. Unlock the propellers and then hit the takeoff button. So I got a little bit of a wind here, but it looks like the GPS lock is working pretty well. Not really drifting too much. I'm gonna move it away from my car here. All right. Let's walk around this real quick. You can see the camera is pointing down, not that high, I'll raise it up a little bit. So, as you can see, I can move the camera down and up, but that's the most it'll go. It's pretty stable. Lock seems to be working. Go ahead and fly it around a little bit, show you what it looks like line of sight. Does lose a little bit of altitude there. Does seem to fly around okay though. Have it point back at me, raise it up. So I'm not exactly sure why the gimbal is not going up or level. But I guess if you're further up, it's very fast. I was not even moving the stick that much, and it moved away very quickly. Alright, so we're at about 26 meters away, 30, 35, about 8 meters high. And I have a very, looks like I have a very strong signal, 17 satellites. Go a little further away. So I'm not going to go too far. I don't want to lose signal. About 50 meters away and about 20, looks like about 30 meters high. So you can see that right there. It's a little dot in the sky now. And you can see me on the video as well. Not a whole lot of wind, but there's a little bit of wind. It doesn't seem to be drifting around too much. It's unfortunate that the gimbal doesn't seem to be going up further. I want to pan up more, but it'll only, I can pan it down, so I can point straight down, but I can't seem to make it pan up any more than about, it looks like about 45 degrees. So possibly it could be a defect in the camera or the mechanism. Alright, so I'm going to bring it down and I'm going to test the return to home and see what happens. Okay, I'm assuming it's probably going to go up, so hopefully it won't go into the way of this tree here. And let's see what the return to home does. Okay, so it's going up. And it's moving towards their home spot. It's right above me. And it's just hovering there. Now it's descending. No, it does not. Now it's descending. It sort of paused. All right, so I'm gonna. If you move the sticks, it'll exit out of return to home. So it looks like it's working. It looks like it wants to continue to come down. So let me. And if you press the return to home button again, it'll end it. So I didn't want actually to land. So getting a video on this that's not looking at the ground is really only going to be possible if you take it up real high. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm not going to get too far away, but I'm going to take it up higher. Taking it up about, let's say about 40 meters or so. And you can see you're looking right down at me at the car. So I'm 40 meters high, only about 25 meters away. I'll just pan around here. The wind is starting to pick up a little bit, so we're going to get a little bit of the drone getting knocked around. But considering the gimbal is not stabilized, the video does look pretty good. It's unfortunate this is the best kind of video I can get, only from high up because of the fact that the gimbal doesn't move. Another thing I'm noticing is that on the Google map, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. There's no map on there. Alright, we're back down. I'm going to see what the circle mode does. Okay, so I'm going to try and start an orbit from that distance over there. Look, we're just looking at the ground, so I'm just going to look at the drone from this distance. It should circle that point or around that point, so we'll go ahead and start that. And the circle does look like it's fairly tight. And the circle mode does seem to be working. That's interesting. Not bad. And I guess it's going to keep on circling until you tell it to stop. So I'll go ahead and go ahead and stop that mode. And I'm going to bring it closer. I'm not sure if I can be able to do follow me mode because it is looking at the ground. So yeah. Unfortunately, that's not going to be working. I'm going to try and get into the camera view and see if I can get it to work. So you can see me there on the screen. And has it locked on to me or not? It does look like it's following me. So that does seem to be working. It is pointing and facing me now. You can see I don't have anything on the controls at all. And it's just following me around. I really wish the camera would be pointing more upwards instead of it so downwards. But it does seem to be working. Okay, I'll go ahead and end that demo. And stop that video. Let's take some photos. Okay, I'll take a couple photos. Yeah, we're basically still looking at the ground. That's really unfortunate. Now, I wanted to demonstrate the waypoints function, but without a real map on here, I'm not really sure how to do that. Let me see if anything shows up on the Google map. Yeah, nothing is on the map, so I'm not really sure where I would be sending the drone. We'll go and I'll look into that later, maybe do a follow-up video. But it looks like we've demonstrated most of the functions here, but with the camera gimbal not functioning properly, it's hard to demonstrate some of the other functions. So we'll go ahead and end the video for today.